There is not a day in this world where words do not count. Hi, and welcome to this podcast, which is about words. I want to thank you for your kind presence here. I am Anil Annaiah, back with a new episode. I believe in words. They have a force and power strong enough to change destinies. Words can give us courage to overcome the gusty winds. Words can give us the strength to swim the rising tides. Words can help us celebrate the power of human kindness. Words can help us fulfill our dream for a better world. Today, I bring in a new thought from my book, Simple Perceptions, to ponder upon. Ambition sometimes is fueled by silly ambiguity. Please hear this again. Ambition sometimes is fueled by silly ambiguity. Let me now discuss the perspectives that could emerge from these words and the potential of this thought in helping us to make life better. Ambition and ambiguity. These words in the thought can be seen as a revelation of compassionate truth, especially relevant right now. We're standing at the edge of massive disruption. AI, automation, shifting work cultures, climate realities, economic instability, everything is evolving and fast. And in times like this, ambition can either become our anchor or our undoing. So the question isn't, should I be ambitious? It is, what is my ambition anchored to? Does it still make sense in the world that's coming? When the world gets loud, the inner voice gets drowned out. Let's be real. Most of us didn't grow up learning how to define success on our own terms. We were taught to aim high, stay busy, and move fast. But what happens when the world keeps changing and the path we were told to follow no longer fits the future we're stepping into? First, we keep climbing, but something feels off. Second, we burn out, but feel guilty for slowing down. Third, we achieve, but the fulfillment never really lands. This is what happens when our ambition is shaped by external pressure instead of internal clarity. What silly ambiguity really means from this thought is, it is not a criticism, it is a pattern. Silly ambiguity is what happens when, point 1, we chase success without defining it. Point 2, we copy goals from others without asking if they fit us. Point 3, we strive because we are afraid to pause, not because we know what we are doing. It's like running full speed through fog. You're exhausted and unsure why. And when you layer that on top of an unpredictable world and add the rising weight of mental health struggles, so many of us feel overwhelmed, anxious, or emotionally disconnected from our work and goals. Because the problem isn't our ambition, it's the disconnection behind it. Finding that true value in your ambition. Why this matters more now than ever? As the world shifts, so must the way we define progress. We can't afford to keep measuring success by old metrics in a new world. What once felt impressive might soon be irrelevant or unsustainable. And to that, growing conversations around burnout, anxiety, depression, and identity. And you start to realize we don't just need new goals. We need a new relationship with ambition. One that's rooted in emotional well-being, overall well-being, adaptability, and self-awareness, and not just a hustle and high performance. at whatever it costs. So how do we set ambition in context? Here is how to ground your ambition in clarity, especially when the world feels uncertain. Start with self-inquiry, not strategy. Ask, what do I deeply value in this season of life? What do I want my energy to be used for, not just my time? What does enough look and feel like for me? Name the feeling beneath the goal. Behind every goal is a deeper emotional need. Stability, recognition, freedom, peace. Get honest about what you're really seeking. That's where alignment begins. Let mental health be a part of the conversation. If your ambition constantly comes at the cost of your well-being, it's not sustainable in the long run. Make room for rest, reframe productivity. Remember, emotional resilience is not laziness, it's longevity. Adapt to the season you are in. Not every year is meant to be a breakout year. Some seasons are for learning, others are for healing, some are for bold action. Give yourself permission to shift, to rest. Redefine success on your own terms. Success isn't always about growth. Sometimes it's about grace. Sometimes it's simply knowing you're moving in a direction that feels true, even if it looks different from everyone else's path. Here is the final reflection. So yes, ambition sometimes is fueled by silly ambiguity. But that's not a flaw, it's a signal, a nudge to pause, to realign, to reconnect. In a world that's rapidly evolving, clarity becomes your power. Because when ambition is shaped by your values, not your feed, by your well-being, not your fear, by your timing, not society's timeline, it stops being a race and starts becoming a rhythm. So I leave you with this. What if your ambition didn't just push you forward, but actually made you feel more whole, more grounded, more like yourself, what you need to be? That version of ambition, it won't just help you survive disruption, it will help you thrive through it. Until next time, keep striving and above all, keep aligning with what's real and what's yours, and aim for overall well-being. Hope this string of words, ambition, sometimes is fueled by silly ambiguity from my book Simple Perceptions, was productive and will help all where needed through the journey in life. Thank you for joining me here today. My sincere aspiration is to keep sharing these thoughts with you and hope that these words will find a way to open up new, wonderful possibilities in your life. We'll be happy if you could share this podcast and the thoughts with others too. Do come back for the next episode. Until we meet again, bye-bye.